this is Sanjana and welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are doing good and preparing well for your respective exams. So today we are here with another video on quantitative aptitude, and today's topic is going to be heights and distances. I'm very sure all of you must be knowing that it is application of trigonometry, and it is helpful to measure the distance or height of various objects which cannot be measured directly, but they can be measured if we know the angle of elevation or angle of depression. Now I'm sure all of you must be knowing the basic definitions of angle of elevation, angle of depression, and also the various parameters like sine, cos and all at various angles. So if you all don't know these basic concepts, then you can refer to the PDF which will be attached to this video. So let's just directly get started with the questions and try solving them. So the first question, looking at the first question, a tower stands vertically on the ground. From a point on the ground which is 30 meters away from the foot of a tower, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 45 degrees. Then find the height of the tower. So now what they have given us is, there is a tower standing on a ground and a point 30 meters away from the foot of the tower. This is 30 meters away from the foot of the tower. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower is found to be 45 degrees. Then find the height of the tower. So let's assume, let height of tower be h. So let us assume this to be h. We have to find h. So this is a basic, very simple question, first question. So it is a triangle and right angle triangle. So we will be applying tan 45. So tan 45 is going to be opposite side by adjacent side, so it is h by 30 in this case. Tan 45, as you all know, is 1, so 1 is equal to h by 30. So the height of the tower is going to be 30 meters. So your answer is option B. Moving on to the second question. There is a pole PQ. P is at the top and Q is at the bottom. An observer 141 meter away from Q observes P at an angle of elevation of 45 degrees and R, which is in between P and Q, at an angle of 30 degrees. We need to find PR. So what they have given us is, there is a pole PQ and P is at the top, Q is at the bottom. An observer 141 meter away from Q, which means from the bottom of the tower, an observer is standing, let the observer be A. An observer is standing 141 meter away from the foot of the tower and he observes P at an angle of 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. And R lies between P and Q, and that angle of elevation is found to be 30 degrees. So there is a point in between P and Q, R, and the angle of elevation of that point is found to be 30 degrees. They have asked us to find PR. So let's just apply basic trigonometric concepts, sine 45 and sine 30 in the various triangles, and we'll easily find the solution to this question. So in the triangle PQA, let's apply tan 45. Tan 45 is opposite side by adjacent side, so it will be PQ by 141. Tan 45 is 1, so 1 is equal to PQ by 141. PQ is equals to 141 meters. So the total height of the tower is 141 meters. Now in triangle RQA, tan 30 is equals to RQ by 141. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 is equals to RQ by 141. So that implies RQ is equals to 141 by root 3. What they have asked us, they have asked us to find PR. So we know that PQ is equals to PR plus RQ. Now that implies PR is equals to PQ minus RQ. We know the value of PQ, which is 141, minus RQ is 141 by root 3. That is equals to 141 root 3 minus 141 whole by root 3. So that implies 141 of root 3 minus 1 by root 3. So if we rationalize it, so we multiply it by root 3 in both numerator and denominator. So we get 141 into root 3 minus 1 into root 3 by 3. 3 4s are 12 and 3 7s are 21. So 47 into root 3 into 3 is 3 minus root 3. So PR is found to be 47 of 3 minus root 3. And so the second question is done. That is option A. Moving on to the third question. A vertical post 15 feet high is broken at a certain height and its upper arc, not completely separated, meets the ground at an angle of 30 degrees. Find the height at which the post is broken. So what they have given us is, there is a vertical post whose total height is equal to 15 meters, but it's broken at some height and it meets the ground at an angle of 30 degrees. So let's assume that this is the broken part and it's touching the ground here at an angle of 30 degrees. So they have given us that it is totally 15 meter high. So if this, let's assume this vertical part to be x, so automatically the part which is broken will be 15 minus x, because they have given us that the total height of the post is 15 meters. So what they have asked is, find the height at which the post is broken. So we need to find the x. So if we apply sine 30 is equals to opposite side by hypotenuse, so it will be x by 15 minus x. As we all know, sine 30 is 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 is equal to x by 15 minus x. So 2x is equal to 15 minus x, 3x is equal to 15, x is equal to 5. So the height at which the post is broken is 5 meters. So the answer is option A again, 5 feet. Moving to the fourth question. The shadow of a tower standing on a level plane is found to be 50 meters longer when the sun's elevation is 30 degrees. When it is 60, then what is the height of the tower? So here they have given us that there is a tower and the shadow of the tower is found to be 50 meters long when the elevation is 30 degrees than when it is at 60 degrees. So that means this is a tower. Let this angle be 60 degrees. Let this be 30 degrees. So they have mentioned that the shadow of the tower is 50 meter longer when the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. So which means this is 50 meter. We have to find the height of the tower. Let's assume the height of the tower to be h, and let's assume the base of this to be x. So if we just keep on applying the tan and cot applications, we'll just find the answer. So if we apply tan 60, so it will be opposite side by adjacent side, so h by x. So root 3 is equal to h by x. That implies root 3x is equal to h. If we apply tan 30 is equal to is going to be h by x plus 50 here, and tan 30 as we all know is 1 by root 3 is equal to h by x plus 50. We know h is equal to root 3x, we just proved it here. So 1 by root 3 is equal to root 3x by x plus 50. So that implies 3x is equal to x plus 50, 2x is equal to 50, and x will be 25. We know the x, but we have to find the height of the tower. Height of the tower is root 3 times x. So height is 25 into root 3 meters. Moving on to the fifth question. The angle of depression of two ships from the top of the lighthouse are found to be 45 and 30 degrees. If the ships are 120 meters apart, then find the lighthouse height. So what they have given us here is, there are two ships and the angle of depression of two ships from the top of the lighthouse are 30 degrees and 45 degrees. If the ships are 120 meters apart, that means the distance between the two ships is 120 meters. Then they have asked us to find the lighthouse height. Let us assume the lighthouse height to be h and this base part be x. So if we apply the trigonometric equations, then tan 45 will be h by x, 1 is equals to h by x, that implies x is equal to h. That's clear. Now applying tan 30 will be h by x plus 120. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so 1 by root 3 is equal to x by x plus 120. I have replaced h by x because x is equal to h as we proved above. So x plus 120 is equal to root 3x. 120 is equal to x into root 3 minus 1. X is equal to 120 by root 3 minus 1. If we rationalize it, so we have to multiply it by root 3 plus 1. So that is going to be 120 into root 3 plus 1 by 2. So 60. So it is 60 into root 3 plus 1 x. So if x is 60 into root 3 plus 1, that implies h is also equal to 60 into root 3 plus 1, since x is equals to h. So we are done with this question. Moving on to the sixth question, they have mentioned that a vertical pole subtends an angle tan inverse 1 by 2 at a point P on the ground. Angle subtended by the upper half of the pole at the point P is. So here they have given us that there is a vertical pole and it subtends an angle tan inverse 1 by 2 at a point P on the ground. The angle be theta and the vertical pole be AB. So what they are given is tan inverse 1 by 2 is equal to theta. So that implies tan theta is equals to 1 by 2, which is opposite side by adjacent side. So let us take this to be h and this will be 2h, because opposite side by adjacent side are in the ratio 1:2. Now they have told us that if it is broken at the middle of the vertical post, then find the angle at the point P. So let us take this to be alpha and this will be beta. So since it is broken at the center of the pole, so this will be h by 2 and this will also be h by 2. So if we take tan alpha is equal to h by 2 by 2h, which means h by 4h. So that implies alpha is equal to tan inverse 1 by 4. So if we now look at the diagram very carefully, it means that alpha plus beta is equal to theta. They have asked us to find beta. So beta is equal to theta minus alpha. that is equals to theta is tan inverse 1 by 2 minus alpha is tan inverse 1 by 4 is equals to tan inverse beta. Now if you all have studied trigonometry, you must be knowing this very basic formula, which is tan inverse A minus tan inverse B is equals to tan inverse of A minus B by 1 plus AB. This is a standard formula. If you all don't know this formula, please make a note of this formula. It's going to be very useful. So we are going to apply this formula here, and now so it will be tan inverse B is equals to let's take tan inverse 1 by 2 to be A and 1 by 4 to be B. So tan inverse of A 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4 by 1 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 4. So that is equals to tan inverse of 2 minus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 8. So that is equals to tan inverse of 1 by 4 by 9 by 8. So this is 2. So the answer is tan inverse of 2 by 9. Beta is equals to tan inverse of 2 by 9. Sorry, take out that tan inverse which we wrote above. So now the answer is beta is tan inverse 2 by 9, which is option B. Moving ahead to the 7th question. A tower subtends an angle theta at a point P on the same level as the foot of the tower, and from a point h meter above P, the angle of depression of the foot of the tower is alpha. Then the height of the tower is. So here they have given us that there is a tower which stands on the ground, and it subtends an angle theta at a point P on the ground, and at a point h meter above P, the angle of depression of the foot of the tower is alpha. So h meter, let us consider this point to be A, which is h meter above P. The angle of depression of the foot of the tower is found to be, so this angle is alpha, so obviously this alpha will also be, this angle will also be alpha. So they have given us that angle is alpha. They have asked us to find the height of the tower. They have asked us to find the height of the tower. So let's assume the height of the tower to be h. So let's assume the height of the tower to be x. So if we extend this is h as well. So let's first apply tan theta. Tan theta is equal to x by bp, and tan alpha would be h by bp. They have asked us to find the height of the tower. So let's just eliminate bp. So bp is equals to h by tan alpha. So if we apply this here, so tan theta is equals to x by h by tan alpha. So if we cross multiply it, it's going to be tan theta into h by tan alpha is equals to x, that is equals to x equal to h tan theta cot alpha. So this is going to be your answer, and the answer is option C. Moving on to the 8th question. The angle of elevation of a tower from 2 points which are 16 and 14 meter away from the base of the tower are alpha and beta respectively. If alpha and beta are complementary, then find the tower's height. So here they have given us that there is a tower and the angle of elevation of the tower, let the tower be AB, from 2 points which are 16 meter and 4 meter away from the base of the tower are alpha and beta. So this is alpha, this is beta. They have asked us to find the height of the tower. So let us assume the height of the tower to be h. Also they have given us that alpha and beta are complementary angles. That implies alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees, right? So let's just continue with our routine and apply the trigonometric ratios. So in triangle ABC, tan alpha is equals to opposite side by adjacent side, so h by 16. And in triangle ABD, tan beta is equal to h by 4. Now we know that alpha plus beta is 90 degrees, so that implies beta is equals to 90 minus alpha. So tan of 90 minus alpha is equals to h by 4. Tan of 90 minus alpha is cot alpha. The basic properties: tan 90 minus theta is cot theta, cot 90 minus theta is tan theta. So applying that formula, so it's going to be cot alpha is equals to h by 4. So above we have tan alpha, now we have cot alpha. We know that tan into cot is 1, right? So tan alpha into cot alpha is equal to h by 16 into h by 4. 1 is equal to h square by 16 into 4. So h is equals to 8 meters. So your answer is 8 meters, option C. Moving on to the 9th question. Here they have given us that the angle of elevation of a plane flying at an altitude 2100 meters changes from 69 degrees to 49 degrees in 10 seconds. Find the speed of the plane. And they have given us the value of tan 69. So here there is a base and there is a plane flying, and the angle of elevation changes from 69 degrees to 45 degrees. The angle of elevation changes from 69 degrees to 45 degrees. And they have given us that it is flying at a height of 2100 meters. They have told us that it changes in 10 seconds. So they have given us time is equal to 10 seconds. We know that speed is equal to distance by time. So distance is going to be speed into time. So let the speed be v and time is 10. They have given us 10v. So this is 10v. So let us assume this to be x. So if we apply tan 45 is equals to 2100 by x plus 10v, and tan 69 is equals to 2100 by x. They have given us that tan 69 is equals to 2.1. So 2.1 is equal to 2100 by x. That implies x is equal to 1000. So if we apply this in equation 1, we are going to get tan 45 is 1. So 1 is equals to 2100 by 1000 plus 10v. So 10v is equals to 1100. V is equal to 110 meter per second. But they have given us the answers in kilometer per hour. So we will be multiplying it with 18 by 5. So this is going to be 396 kilometer per hour. So This is your answer. Answer is option A. Moving on to the 10th question. They have given us a man standing at a certain distance from a building observes the angle of elevation of its top to be 60 degrees. He walks 30 yards away from the building. Now the angle of elevation of the building's top is found to be 30. How high is the building? So basically they are asking us the height of the building. So here they have given us that there is a building and there is a man standing, let the building be AB, and there is a man standing at some distance from the building, and its angle of elevation of the top of the building is found to be 60 degrees. He walks 30 yards away from the building. They are telling us that he walks 30 yards away from the building. So that means he is going farther away from the building. He says now the angle of elevation is found to be 30 degrees. Right? So this is, the distance is 30 yards. Let this distance be x and the height of the building be h. They have asked us how high is the building. So they are asking us the height of the building. So let's just consider tan 60. So it will be opposite by adjacent side. So h by x. So root 3 is equals to h by x. H is equals to root 3x. If we apply tan 30, it is going to be h by x plus 30. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 and h is equal to root 3 by x as we just now proved. So root 3x by x plus 30. That implies x plus 30 is equal to 3x. 30 is equals to 2x and x is equal to 15. But here they have asked us the height of the building, not the base. So height is root 3x. So that implies h is equal to 15 root 3. Done. So this is the answer. Moving on to the 11th question. A house of height 100 meters subtends a right angle at a window of an opposite house. If the height of the window is 64 meters, then the distance between the two houses is. So here they have given us that there are two houses. Okay, so I am bad at drawing. Please don't mind it. There are two houses which are opposite to each other, and the height of the house is found to be 100 meters. They have given us that there is a window at 64 meter high of the second house. So this is, let this be 64 meters and there is a window here. So at the window they have given us that it subtends right angle at the window of the opposite house. They asked us the distance between the two houses. So if this is 64, obviously this is going to be 100 minus 64, which is 36 meters. Let this angle be alpha and let this angle be beta, and the common, this is a common base, so this, let this be x. So tan alpha is equal to 36 by x and tan beta is equals to 64 by x. Now from the figure we can very clearly observe that alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degrees, since it subtends a right angle at the center of the window. So that implies beta is equal to 90 minus alpha. So here tan of 90 minus alpha is equal to 64 by x, which is cot alpha is equal to 64 by x. We know that tan theta into cot theta is equals to 1. So that implies tan alpha into cot alpha is equal to 36 by x into 64 by x. So 1 is equal to 36 into 64 by x square. So x is equal to 48 meters. Done. We are done with this question as well. Left with few more questions and we are good to go with this particular topic. Moving ahead to the 12th question. Ram and Shyam are 10 kilometers apart. They both see a hot air balloon passing in the sky, making an angle of 60 degree and 30 degree respectively. What is the height at which the balloon could be flying? So here this problem particularly can be done in two ways. That is, it can be done by taking both the persons at the same side, or it can be taken by taking both the people at opposite sides of the tower. So first let's do with the same side. So here they have given us that Ram and Shyam let this be Ram and let this be Shyam. The distance between Ram and Shyam is 10 kilometers and the angle is 60 degree, 30 degree. Let us assume the height of the hot air balloon to be h and this base to be x. So tan 60 degrees is equal to h by x. Root 3 is equal to h by x. H is equal to root 3 x. Tan 30 is equals to h by 10 plus x. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so 1 by root 3 is equal to h. H is root 3x. Root 3x by 10 plus x. 3x is equals to 10 plus x. 2x is equal to 10. X is equal to 5. So if x is equal to 5, then the height of the hot air balloon will be 5 root 3 meters. So this is one way, and also there could be another way of doing this same problem, and that is if Ram and Shyam are at opposite sides of the hot air balloon. So this is the hot air balloon. Let Ram be here making an angle of 60 degrees and Shyam be here making an angle of 30 degrees. They have given that the total distance between Ram and Shyam is 10 kilometers. Let this distance between the hot air balloon and Shyam be x. So automatically this is going to be 10 minus x. So now if we apply tan 30 is equals to h by x. 1 by root 3 is equals to 1 by root 3 is equal to h by x. X is equal to h root 3, and tan 60 is equals to h by 10 minus x. Tan 60 is root 3, so root 3 is equal to h by 10 minus x is h root 3, so root 3h. Cross multiply, it gives root 3 into 10 minus root 3h is equal to h. 10 root 3 minus 3h is equals to h. 4h is equals to 10 root 3. H is equals to 5 root 3 by 2. So this is the second answer. So there are two answers for this particular question. So the answer is option C, both A and B. Moving to the next question. A man standing on the top of a tower sees a car coming towards the tower. If it takes 20 minutes for the angle of depression to change from 30 to 60, then what is the time remaining for the car to reach the tower? So here they have given us that there is a tower and there is a car coming towards the tower. First it's at 30 degrees and next it's at 60 degrees. So they are told that it takes 20 minutes to change its angle of elevation from 30 degrees to 60 degrees. So let's just assume the height of the tower to be h, this be a and this be b. So tan 30 is equals to h by a plus b, and tan 60 will be h by b. Tan 60 is root 3 is equals to h by b. So h is equal to root 3b. So if we apply the same thing over here, so root 3b by a plus b is equal to tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So a plus b is equals to 3b. A is equal to 2b. Here they have given us that to go from 30 degrees to 60 degrees, that is A, it takes 20 minutes, right? They have asked us how much time it would take to reach the tower. So to reaching the tower is B. So for A, if it takes 20, then for B it takes how much? So they have given us A is equals to 2B. So that implies B is equals to A by 2. A is 20. So 20 by 2 will be 10. So it takes 10 minutes to reach the tower. And that's the answer for your question. I hope you all are really understanding these problems, because these are very basic questions, but this is a very important concept for your competitive exams, be it for CAT, be it for any entrance exam or anything. This is a cut. So I really hope you all are enjoying doing these questions and are not finding any difficulty in solving them. But I would like to say that this is a very easy chapter, but a most important chapter, be it for any exam. There are going to be either 1 or 2 questions for sure from this particular chapter, and these are very easy scoring areas where you can score, and I hope you all score well and do best in your exams. So moving ahead to the last but one question. There are 2 towers, one on each bank of a river, just opposite to each other. As observed from the top of a tower of height 120 meters, the angle of depression of the top and bottom of the tower are 30 and 45 degrees respectively. Find the height of the other tower and the width of the river. So here they have given us that there are 2 towers on the bank of the river which are standing opposite to each other. As observed from the top of, they have given us that the height of this tower is 120 meter. The angle of depression of the bottom and top of the other tower are found to be 30 and 45 degrees respectively. Find the height of the other tower and the width of the river. Let the height of this tower be h and let the width of the river be x. So tan 45 is equals to 120 by x, 1 is equal to 120 by x, so x is equal to 120. So the width of the river is 120 meters. Now we need to find the height of the other tower. So tan 30 is equal to, if this is h, this is going to be, if this part of the tower is h, this is also going to be h. So this will be 120 minus h. So 120 minus h by x. X is 120. tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equals to 120 minus h by 120. That implies 120 root 120 is equals to 120 root 3 minus h root 3. So that implies h root 3 is equals to 120 into root 3 minus 1. H is equal to 120 into root 3 minus 1 by root 3. We can rationalize it by multiplying by root 3. So it's going to be 120 into 3 minus root 3 by 3, 40. So this is going to be 40 into 3 minus root 3. So the height of the tower is 40 into 3 minus root 3 meters. So we are just left with one more question and then we are just done with this particular topic. So moving on to the last and final portion of this topic. So a tall tree AB and a building CD are standing opposite to each other. A portion of the tree breaks off and falls on the top of the building, making an angle of 30 degrees. After a while, it falls again on the ground in front of the building, 4 meters away from the foot of the building, making an angle of 45 degrees. The height of the building is 6 meters. Then find the total height of the tree in meters before it broke. So here they are giving us that there is a tree and a building CD standing opposite to each other. They are giving us that there is a building and a tree which are standing opposite to each other. But after some time, due to some reasons, a part of the tree first falls on the top of the building, and after some time, it falls to the ground 4 meters away from the foot of the building. So here let's just draw whatever we understood. So first it's like this, and it falls first on the top of the building, making an angle of 30 degrees. So this is 30 degrees. Later it falls on the ground in front of the building 4 meters away. So later it falls here, making an angle of 45 degrees, and the distance between this is 4 meters. They have mentioned that the height of the building is 6, so which means CD is 6 meters. So obviously this is also going to be 6 meters. They have asked us to find the total height of the tree before it broke. So let's assume this portion to be X and this portion to be Y. So first of all, total height of the tree would be 6 plus X plus Y, right? But we need to find out the values of X and Y first, and only then can we calculate the total height of the tree. So tan 45 is equals to 6 plus X by BE. Tan 45 is 1, so BE is equal to 6 plus X. Now tan 30 is equal to X by BE plus 4. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3, so 1 by root 3 is equal to X by BE. BE is 6 plus X. 6 plus X plus 4. So 1 by root 3 is equals to X by X plus 10. So that implies X plus 10 is equal to root 3 X. So 10 is equal to X into root 3 minus 1. So X is equal to 10 by root 3 minus 1. If we rationalize it, it's going to be 10 into root 3 plus 1 by 2. So that is equal to 5 into root 3 plus 1. So now we have got x. So here we know x, 6, we know x. We have to find y. So if we observe it carefully, if we take sine 30, we will be able to find y. So sine 30. So sine 30 is opposite side by hypotenuse. So opposite side is x and hypotenuse is AC. So if this is y, the same portion of the tree was cut and fallen on the top of the building. So if this is y, this is y as well, right? Because that was the same portion which fell. So it's going to be x by y, opposite side by hypotenuse. Sine 30 is 1 by 2 is equal to x by y. That implies y is equal to 2x. So we know x. So if x is 5 into root 3 plus 1, so then y is equal to 10 into root 3 plus 1. Now it's very easy for us to find the total height of the tree, because now we know x and now we know y. Both the variables we know. So total height of tree is equal to 6 plus x plus y. That is equal to 6 plus 5 into root 3 plus 1 plus 10 into root 3 plus 1. That is equal to 6 plus 5 root 3 plus 5 plus 10 root 3 plus 10. So this is going to be 21 plus 15 root 3. So this is the total height of the tree before it broke. So this is our final answer. And here we are done with all the questions for this particular topic. So I really hope you all enjoyed the video and enjoyed doing the questions along with me and understood it all. If you have any queries or any doubts, be it in these 15 questions or any other set of questions, you are free to message us or contact us through our social media handles, which are mentioned below here. And do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and see you again in the next video.